Today we're exploring color and our flare-ups. If you have a chronic illness, you're familiar with the concept of a flare-up, and you're familiar with having them. They happen randomly, usually when you have something planned that you want to do, and it's part of what makes it feel like we have no control over our lives and brings in that level of uncertainty. But I have found that being able to paint my flare-up, give it a form and a color, sometimes have a conversation with it, has helped me with that uncertainty and with moving forward on my healing path. So today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to paint our flare-ups. So I invite you to paint or draw your flare. I want you to pick a flare, because I know we have different kinds of flares caused by different things. So pick one of the flares that you have and ask it, what color is it? And I am actually having a flare today with some brain fog and some fatigue, and I like to do this practice when I am having a flare because I find that it does help me. And so for me, brain fog is very like misty, and it's purple, misty and gray. So I'm going to be working in that today, and I'm probably going to use these watercolors, and I have my watercolor pencils out just to get a different effect, and there's more purples in here. And this is fluid watercolor paper, so this is going to run and spread and do lots of fun things that, you know, give me that misty look. Let's start with some purple. Putting the purple on here. There's no plan here. I'm going with intuition, like just what does brain fog feel like in color, and how can I make it misty? How can I get this misty color going? This is a watercolor pencil, and you can, if the paper is wet, or wherever the paper is wet, you can go ahead and add becomes very fluid and washy. Well, not very fluid, but you can also just dip it in the water and draw straight on. I don't know, it's looking kind of like a weird cloud, right? That's kind of fun. And that's really, well, head feels cloudy. Okay, that's I guess what needed to come out today. Well, the other thing that I always learn when I do one of these flare paintings and pick a single color is I learn more about that color. You know, the purple can be a little on the blue side, it can be a little on the red side. You know, there's a gray purple. Not only am I putting the flare on paper so that I can see it and talk to it and, you know, externalize it a bit and understand it, and help me kind of process and move through it, but I also learned something creatively about either how the materials work or something about color in this case. I feel like that's done because I feel a little lighter. So, lighter in a good way, not in a brain foggy way. So I think it might be time for some reflection now. Now that we have finished our flare-up painting, I wanted to ask a reflective question of us. So what was it like to see your flare-up outside of your body in a different shape and form, to even give it form, right, and give it color? What did it say to you while you were making it? I know for me, when I do these paintings, and I do them usually when I have a flare-up, it does help me recognize the flare-up as something on its own, having its own agency, and I can then have a conversation with it. It helps me recognize there are things within my control and outside of my control, and that's okay. And it does help me feel like I'm getting an understanding of the flare-up and the emotions that come with it. And those emotions aren't the same every time. Even if it's a brain fog or extreme fatigue flare-up, like for this practice, the emotions just aren't the same because it depends on the context that the flare-up happens. So it really helps me understand how I'm feeling, but also gives me something to see and focus on and externalize. So I hope that was helpful for you. What I want us to do now is called an I am poem. And we're going to now take our flare-up painting and have it speak to us, or we can speak to it. If you want to speak to it, I have some questions that I've put in the post that you can ask it. Those questions are things like, What does it eat or drink? Where does it live? What pets does your flare-up have? What does it wear? What does it do with all those spoons that it takes? And I'm very curious about this one. It's the first time I've thought about that question. What is it doing with all those spoons that it's taking from me? I hope it's making a sculpture out of them. Seriously. The pets, I think the brain fog and extreme fatigue, they're too lazy to have a pet. Even a fish, you still have to feed it, right? So I don't know that they have a pet. Maybe a pet rock. I think that's it. They have a pet rock. Okay, maybe I need to paint their pet rocks. That's the next thing I need to do. Okay. All right. I think for me, I think my I am poem for this particular flare-up is going to say, I am the mist in your mind. I have a pet rock, and I am collecting all these spoons to build a sculpture whenever I have the energy. So I guess my flare-up might have some sarcasm in it. Interesting. Okay. So write your I am poem, ask your flare-up a couple of questions, and see what it says. So this flare-up painting is part of our series on creating your own personal visual language. I think it is important to understand that visual language from the perspective of our bodies and our chronically ill bodies. And that includes our flare-ups, because that's part of our language. It's part of who we are. And having an understanding of the different colors and shapes and lines and repetition of these flare-ups and what they look like and how they move. I think that's really important for our own visual language so that we understand that and can use it when we need it. So join me for the next creative practice in this series. And until then, take care of yourself.